This episode of Built Different is brought to you by Spas and More. Visit spasandmorestl.com for more information.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Built Different podcast. I have a interesting group of guys here today, so I'm going to let each one of them introduce themselves, and then we'll kind of get into why they're here. So,
hey, Chris Rumsa, retired sergeant, former guest on the podcast.
Returning guest.
Did 21 years with St. Louis City, started the bagpipe band with St. Louis City. Now I'm an officer with the NGA Police, still bagpiping.
Hey, I'm Jason Delp. I've been working for St. Louis City Police Department for about 8 years. I'm downtown bike unit now. Been bagpiping about a year and a half now, right? Something like that. And I got into it because of this guy right here.
And I'm John Blaskowitz. I'm the commander of homicide in St. Louis City, and I've been on the department for 28 and a half years, and I've been playing the bagpipes since 2020 is when I started practicing as a result of Chris bringing me on board. So happy to be here.
So all of you guys kind of have a common theme. You all are in the pipe and drum band, so obviously that is a very, in my belief, important part of policing in general. I think it's very, it's nice to have something like that at funerals, at happy events even. So, which is one of those events are coming up tomorrow. Right. Guns and Hoses, you guys will be there playing, so that's awesome. Let's go through like a month for you guys. So you guys would have what? You guys would have a practice?
Yeah, so we practice with county guys. The county's they've been doing it since I think it's 2001. I joined on with them about 2016. So once these guys came on, we kind of split off just slightly. So the county does every Wednesday except for the first Wednesday of the month. And so the first Wednesday of the month we hang out in my garage and we get our timing. We do we're trying to learn some songs that the county doesn't do. And just get our timing down, get some, just have a good time with it. And then usually if there's a fifth Wednesday of the month, it's more of a social thing. But Wednesdays, so essentially Wednesdays. But there's also, you put in your own time. You can't learn an instrument just by playing once a week.
No, that you definitely cannot. As has been proven.
Yeah. There's some guys that try it, and it's not successful.
Right. So for you, a new bagpipe player, right? Newish,
yeah,
right?
Definitely.
How hard was it to kind of pick up? Was that something that you already had prior experience for? Or
I had musical experience in stringed instruments like banjo, guitar. Mm-hmm. Wind instruments, totally new. It's actually a little bit of a story. I tore my bicep tendon at work, my other one. And so I was down for like 3 or 4 months. And he had just sent that email about a month before I injured myself. And I was like, what am I going to be doing? I can still use my hands. I can't, work. So I just, at the gym in the academy, I just sat there with an electronic chanter, and I just practiced for like 2 or 3 hours a day after my workout. And then that part was easy. Changing from chanter to bagpipes, that was difficult.
Yeah.
Because it's like a stamina thing, and I just straight up felt like I was going to pass out, man.
2 or 3 hours?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever did 2 or 3 hours a day.
I do. I couldn't do anything else.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay.
I just sit there. Like, I was working a sign-in sheet. You only work out so many hours a day.
Yeah. I was doing, when I was learning, not more than an hour. I would practice in the car, and I just got obsessed with it. So I'd be in the car. If I was at a red light, I would just do the scales real quick. And then I'd come in 20 minutes early to work and try to get like the first song down and then the second song down. And then we finally get the stuff that we're actually playing. But it was never, I don't think I ever did an hour a day. Actually, one of the mistakes I made was every time somebody said, hey, I want to learn how to do it. I was like, yeah, man, it's cool. It's like being part of a softball league, except there's no off season. And then, because that's the way it felt to me. But I think it's harder to recruit people than it is to learn how to play bagpipe.
Definitely.
Let's talk about that a little bit. So you guys have grown. Yeah. Obviously, you said that you started the band, correct?
Yeah.
What year was that?
City. That was I started learning in 2015. My first kilted gig was the Responder Rescue Ball in 2017, January of 2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then how did you kind of grow it? Like, what was the growing pains of finding people?
I got lucky because Andy Kelly had been a county officer and worked on snare drums in college. So when he found out I was learning bagpipes, he's like, "Hey, I already do this. Like, I'm with you." And it was great, and great attitude. Does it for all the right reasons. Loves to honor police officers. Great cop. So it was just me and him for a while. And then Marco Chrisley wanted to learn. I said, yeah, you can learn. You can learn the bass drum until you learn snare drums. And then life gets in the way, as it does with most people that come and ask me. And he couldn't do it anymore. And then Lindsay wanted to learn bagpipes. But I said, well, we don't have a tenor drummer yet. So she learned tenor drum. And I was cool with her doing nothing but tenor drum. She was the most organized person I know in life. So she would like, hey, this is what, this is the finances. If we're going to fundraise, if we're going to do this. I said, fantastic. I love having you here. And then life just gets in the way. So she's kind of stepped away too. When John came to the first district after you got promoted, I know I approached you well beforehand, but he came to the first district. I said, I'm so glad you're here because now I can hound you all the time about joining the bagpipes. And he said,
It worked.
He said, if I join, I'm going all in. I'm not going to just kind of fiddle in and do it. He said, if I join, I'm doing it all in. So finally he said, okay, this is it. And he followed through. First one to follow through as far as learning. And then Jason's the second one. But I've probably had, I'm telling you, no less than 30 people from the city say, oh, yeah, I want to learn. And then I never hear from them again.
Including myself.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, even
there's still time though.
That's right.
Plenty of time.
The one regret I have is I didn't start sooner. Yeah. I wish I would have done this when I was 25 years old. But I was going to let you say, I'll do the bass drum. If anyone deserves the bass drum, it's you, buddy. So if you want to take that, you're always welcome to that.
I appreciate that.
I guess return.
Yeah, it's definitely. I could definitely see how it would be hard for, especially just a policeman on the streets, giving up that extra bit of time to come and help and do other things. Because it's not just practicing and staying up on top of things. You still have events and out of the blue funerals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That I'm sure come up from day to day.
Yeah. And the department was always good about. When they wanted us and needed us, they would take care of it. But if there was other stuff, other obligations, they'd be like, well, you're the only sergeant. I was like, well, yeah, but I'm the only bagpiper too. So which one do you want for the day? And then eventually that just, it never really got in the way. But at the same time, I always felt like I was burdening other people for doing it. Now I'm fortunate to be with the agency I am now. Every time I've said, hey, this is going on, it's Absolutely. My lieutenant used to be a city guy, and his family was all city guys. He's a true, blue blood. Mm-hmm. He loves it, and the NGA they love the representation. It's, as anyone knows, it's a PR goldmine. Mm-hmm. And news agencies, charity organizations, they all love the sound of the bagpipes. It brings memories to life. It makes everything tangible.
Evokes emotions.
Oh yeah,
big time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's kind of walk through an event. So if you guys were doing a funeral, kind of how would that play out?
Yeah. So in a funeral, it all depends on how much. It's up to what the family wants. Some people want you to play as people are coming into the church. Some people want you to play coming out of the church. Some people just want you at the cemetery.
I think we need to differentiate too between in the line of duty versus retirees. So in the line of duty, we'll get the whole band, which is the county, our counterparts who are welcoming us into their practices and into their team. And then what Chris is talking about is for a retiree who passes, and then you get a solo piper, which Jason's going to be doing his first event this coming Monday, which we're looking forward to.
Yeah, it's good to keep that going. But a line of duty, obviously all hands on deck. Mm-hmm. We show up well before the officer does. We'll play as the hearse is coming. We'll play them in. We'll sit around. We'll wait for the ceremony to be finished. We'll play them out. Get them back into the hearse. We'll race to the cemetery. Beat them at the cemetery. We'll be all set up for when the family and everybody gets there. We'll play as everybody gets into place. And then we'll usually, after the priest and all the services are done, it's Amazing Grace, and then we call it a day. But yeah, that's but yeah, with other stuff, I mean, I've done retirees, just generally Irish, people that have died, and they like to have that stuff too. And then it's a little more, I don't wear a uniform. I'll just do a vest and a kilt and play some Irish tunes. But it's it's always different.
What do you think it means to the families? Not only a line of duty death, but just for a retiree's family to see that.
Yeah, like I said before, I think it makes the memories and everything. It thickens the air. Like you feel it, but when the music is there, it's like you can touch it.
Yeah.
And I think that it makes it that much more important for the families. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I guess hopping off of funerals and stuff like that to more of a motivational, Guns and Hoses, stuff like that for those type of events. Is there a different song base that you guys use, or is it more of the same? Or
No.
They're upbeat. When we're playing, we have our funeral tunes,
right,
and then we have our band tunes.
Right.
So one of the things I'm most proud of is we've got a great picture of us all marching in unison from the St. Patrick's Day parade a few years ago. Mm-hmm. But we're playing upbeat marching parade tunes, and unfortunately, that's the only parade we've actually played in together. We haven't been back since then, but we've been at every Guns and Hoses since then. But there's different styles of tunes, 4/4s versus 6/8s, and we do play a little marching tune as opposed to funeral tunes when we're at public events. So.
Right.
Yeah, and we're working on dancing tunes, I would say. The jigs.
Yeah, faster upbeat.
Cash jig.
But with us all, Cash jig, Cork Hill. I play Itchy Fingers. That's always a crowd pleaser. Mm-hmm. And then we got the Bangers and Mash. That's also known as Rakes of Mallow. Those are good crowd pleasers.
So we've kind of touched base on it a little bit, but managing this plus your job, what are the difficulties? And we can go around the table and kind of talk about that with everyone.
Why don't I start?
Yeah, you start.
I kind of take the cake here when it comes to managing your job. I used to practice literally 3 to 4 hours, and I've said this multiple times that these two gentlemen have great musical talent. In fact, Chris, we have to tell him to stand still because he will literally start dancing. He's so in tune with the music. Where I don't have this innate ability that they bring. I actually paid an instructor who is well regarded, and his name's Matt Pantaleone. He taught me for a full year. He travels to Scotland, so I've had to really drill it into my brain trying to get this, and I still am weak compared to these two.
But as a result, I think he's the most technically sound. When it comes to actually, when a tune is down, he has what we call grace notes and different like tourloos, embellishments. Yeah. He's got the embellishments down. If somebody were to come in new to the band, I would send him to John because I don't know how to. I didn't teach myself. Dave was a big part of teaching me, but for the most part, I figured it all out on my own. I don't know how to articulate how to give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
Whereas John had to do that.
So it was during COVID when I started picking up the practice chanter and whatnot. So I got a lot of videos online from my instructor. And anyway, I had to balance that though because I'm a proud father of quadruplets. So I've got 4 kids who just started college, which has now given me more time to practice. But back then they're in high school, we're driving them around. And before that, they're in middle school, taking them to sporting events. But while the dads were cheering on, junior playing baseball, I'm in the car practicing the chanter, trying to find time to get practice in. But now I'm the commander of homicide, and I feel compelled to be at meetings. I feel compelled to be there for families when they're calling the office. So I don't shy away from events, but I don't get to them as often as I probably would if I was in a district that maybe could spare me a little bit, but our department can't spare anyone right now.
That is so true.
So we're at a point where just being able to play is a luxury. So this is also another reason why at a funeral we'll send one person for a solo as opposed to sending an entire team, because it's just not always feasible.
Right.
But yeah, it's time. This instrument takes time to play. You've got to dedicate, I say a minimum of a half an hour every day just to memorize tunes, to keep up and play.
And that's to the pipes, not just like the chanter.
Sure.
Like would you say playing a half hour with the pipes is
that's
something you need to do just to keep your stamina up? And
definitely. And when you're starting, you don't start on the bagpipes. This is a big mistake guys make that I see. They buy pipes before they're ready to transition to them. If you can't play it on the chanter and you don't have it all memorized, there's no point in buying the pipes. And that was something that was instilled in me by my instructor. So, we're lucky to have Jason. In fact, Jason came over to my house, I think only 4 or 5 times. Yeah. And then I sent him some videos and a booklet and said, follow this and let's see where you're at. And one of the funny things about Jason is that he came over, I'm left-handed, but my instructor wanted me to play right-handed. So I learned how to play right-handed. Well, he's playing and we're at a practice and it's like one of his first times with the pipes. And we're like, his hands are not right. And I'm like, what's going on? He was playing left-handed and his pipes were set up for a right-hander. So anyway, I'll let you tell the rest of the story. But
so I had no idea. I knew I was doing that, but the book said that it didn't matter. So I was like, oh, whatever, I feel more comfortable doing it like this. But then John was like, well, can you strike in? I was like, damn, I don't think I can strike in like this. But anyway, we figured it out. I got is it a left-hand bag that I have or a right-hand bag?
You've got a left-hand.
Yeah, you got a left-hand. Okay. We didn't figure it out. You had to reorder your pipes.
I did. But I mean, it's but I can still play with a regular set of pipes because I actually have a set of small pipes that are standard, so I can play both.
Yeah.
My bagpipes are left-hand. So, but. Yeah, John's right though, man. We're short-staffed in the city. Downtown biking, I mean, we got 2 or 3 guys working, and I haven't been able to make hardly any practices because if there's 2 of us working, I'm not just going to leave one guy to handle 4 hours worth of calls or whatever happens down there.
But with that being said, though, we've never let a family down. I mean, we've never had to say we can't send somebody, even if the county's been short. We've filled in for the county for a solo performance here and there. But it is a great team to be part of with the city and the county. There's always somebody.
Yeah, that's the community of police bagpipes is. I was shocked when I learned it wasn't like this pro, you're the new guy. It's like, welcome, guy, welcome. Oh, you don't know anything? No, it's totally fine. We're just glad that you're part of this, And I've never run into anyone that's pompous about their talent.
Right.
That's a great thing. But yeah, the county has retirees, just like I'm a retiree. So if we ever needed somebody, they would, Dan Jackson plays a lot, Dan Steele would play, like John said, we're never going to let a family down. If somebody needs somebody there, then we'll be there. Yeah.
I've heard it mentioned a few times. I don't know what it is, so I'm sure the viewers won't know, but you guys have mentioned a chanter. If someone wants
did you ever play a recorder in grade school?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a recorder.
Like that.
Just some different fingering, different finger positions, but that's the best, easiest way to do it.
Okay.
We should have brought one, but the holes on a chanter are spaced out farther apart, and they match what the chanter is, which is the handpiece on the bagpipes. So you've got your 3 drones up top and you have your chanter down below. Okay. The idea of the practice chanter is it mimics what you're holding, which is plastic in our chanters, but it can be wood, but the ones we're using for our actual bagpipes are plastic. And it mimics that same feel, so when you transition from the chanter, the benefit of starting on the chanter as opposed to starting on the actual pipes is, number one, you don't need the stamina to keep breathing in that air, but also it's not as loud when you're playing at your house and disrupting not only your kids trying to do homework, but your neighbors next door because of how loud the bagpipes truly, truly are.
Yeah. Right. And when we say you're blowing air, like you are putting air in. Like when I first started, when I was doing the chanter, I went to Guns N' Hoses, still not having learned, and one of the guys said, "Here, give it a whirl." I did about 6 seconds of sound out of the bagpipes, and I was getting the tunnel vision where I was going to pass out. And I was like, I can't do it anymore. My wife goes, no, I haven't recorded you yet. Do it one more time. And I thought, oh, this is not going to go well. But yeah, it's a lot of air. A lot of air.
So since we've been here talking and all this, I've trying to think in my head, and I don't know this answer. Maybe one of you do. I think I have an idea who might know. But how did pipes and drums become a thing for police officers? Become integrated into the policing community?
Oh yeah, so that's I mean that goes back to Irish immigrants when there was Irish need not apply. Irish took the dangerous jobs, so firefighters, police officers, and anything where you might die became an Irish thing. And instead of letting it suppress them, they took pride in it. So if an officer did die or something like that, they would play the pipes. Now the Ilian pipes are the Irish pipes. The Highland pipes, which we play, are Scottish, but Ilian pipes you have to sit down. So the Highland pipes ended up taking over as like the main instrument to be in parades, especially for funerals.
Okay.
Yeah.
I figured you would know that answer.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
But yeah, it's not an Irish thing anymore. Now it's just a police thing because it's been so long. I mean, they're the LA pipe band. I think most of them are Hispanic. Like there's their bass drummer. His name is Boom Boom. Super nice guy, Mexican guy. He's awesome guy. But yeah, it's not just an Irish thing anymore.
That was where I was going to kind of lead. Was I'm sure since you guys go to DC every year, correct?
Well, we went. I went in 22 and 23. You went with me in 23. We didn't make it 24 or 25, right?
Yeah, we are planning on going this year, so we'll
definitely,
be there.
yeah.
We'll be there for sure.
Jason's first one. Now the county's been going every year since 2006.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you guys get to integrate with a lot of other bands and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, it's cool.
So let's talk about the differences between our band and then other bands. I'm sure that.
Yeah. Well, I think everyone just makes it work how they can make it work. San Jose will let anyone in that has been a police officer. Like I know a guy from San Jose that is a farmer, but he was a cop in Chicago. So since he's got that police experience, they let him in. And I don't know exactly how it works with the other guys. I mean, those are just people that I've talked to.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, so like size-wise, is it kind of typical for a lot of departments to kind of struggle to keep bands going, or is it?
Well, it seems like it's a struggle for us to keep a band going.
Well, in the region though, we're it. I mean, how far west would we have to go to find the next actual pipe band?
Kansas City.
Kansas City has one, but they're probably even more loosely affiliated than we are. I don't even know how much they really do. Now, I have reached out and tried to start a regional thing. So we have Ray from Arnold that was going to try to be here today, but he couldn't. And I've reached. So we have guys. I've talked to chiefs. I've talked to command staff. Sent probably 30 emails to different departments. We have Ricky is trying from Brentwood. We have a guy from St. Peter's, a guy from Florissant, a gal from Chesterfield, and a guy from, who's the bass drummer? I can't remember where he was from. But, all these bands have reached out to, or all these people from departments have reached out to me. And at some point, hopefully it becomes a thing. But like I told you, I think it's harder to recruit than it is to learn.
Yeah.
Or to get people to stay.
Yeah, or get them to stay. Because I mean, it's if I wouldn't say if the department would support you more, because I think it really is about whether you want to do it or not. But I really think at least part of the reason why Marco and Lindsay can't do it anymore is because priorities are elsewhere. If the department would say, okay, yeah, this is it. You guys, we need this to happen as much as a recruitment a recruitment unit or as much as a school resource officer, then yes, you guys are going to be part of that, and this is part of your priority. But it's just they love us when they see us, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that boosts morale too.
Yeah.
And I can definitely see the appeal to it. You know, at Guns N' Hoses when you guys are walking around playing and stuff. Obviously, you guys get big crowds that will form up around you and stuff and listen. And so that's important.
Any fundraiser. We'll go. We do. The county does their fundraiser. St. Louis Police Officers Memorial Fund. They do a fundraiser every year, and I've played with them multiple times just to go. North Patrol had their fundraiser back when I was in North Patrol, and me and Andy went up there, and Matt Simpson was running, and he came by afterward. He goes, "That was the perfect, you know, it brought the crowd in, the room livened up." It's like, yeah, it does that. It can do that. It's just, yeah, throw me a freaking bone every once in a while.
I got a funny story about Rumsa here when I was up in North Patrol. I just remember I was walking past the sergeant's car one time, going into the station. I heard this doo-doo-doo-doo coming out of the car, and I was like, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah.
And then I see he has a stick in his hand. I was like, "I gotta go get this report done." But later on, I found out because I think we had a lot party, and then you were playing outside. And I was like, "Oh, that's what that was."
Oh yeah. You gotta get in where you can, man.
Yeah, definitely.
That's awesome. No, it's great that you guys give up your spare time and stuff to do that. Let's talk a little bit about where you guys, like the support that you guys get. Obviously, there has to be some sort of funding you guys get and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. So every time I've gone to D.C., the association has helped, police leadership has helped. The Memorial Fund has been our staple. Those guys, they help us out with the hotels and stuff. The foundation has been we couldn't have done it without the foundation. They've paid for our uniforms.
Right.
They bought drums. They bought an extra set of drums, which we're not using right now. I'm sorry. But I have them all, and as soon as somebody decides they want to drum with us, they'll be ready.
Is that the one at the bike office?
That is the one in the bike office, yeah. Yeah.
Sarge was asking about that. I was like, yeah, we're just there until we need it.
Hey, it's a great piece for the bike office.
It is.
It's good decoration until we actually dust it off and get it back out to
I think we need to recognize too Chief John Hayden, who authorized overtime for members to go to practice.
Oh, that's big. Yeah. That's big.
And I'm a lieutenant. I don't get overtime anymore, but when I did, I put in for it.
Yep.
But Chief Hayden recognized, hey, people do enjoy this, and these guys should get compensated a little bit for their time. And it was, I think, once a week or twice a month or something like that. It wasn't something huge, but still, every little bit helps out a police family.
Absolutely.
So kudos to John Hayden, Chief John Hayden, for doing that.
Chief Hayden and Chief Tracy, they were both, and when I asked, hey, this is what I'm asking for, travel days and use of a car, signed right off on it. You know, when it comes down to like big events like that, then absolutely, you know, they did. I can't say I didn't get any support because the department did support me when I was there. It's just that it was, you know, being the only sergeant in the 6th District and then trying to run a pipe band. And I told my lieutenant at the time too, I said, look, I know I asked for the promotion. I know I started this. I put it all on, but sometimes it's just too much. It's too much. I took on too much. Bit off more than I could chew, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of a testament to how hard it is to actually keep the band going, just for every one of you, just individual band members putting in all that time and effort into staying up on practice, and then also looking for people to recruit and to stay with the band and do stuff like that as well. It's definitely a lot to give.
Yeah, so it's hard to keep the wind in your sails because you will get people that'll, there's some guys that said, oh yeah, I want to do it, and then you just don't hear from them for 3 months. And it's like, do I want to keep texting them every week and say, hey, this is practice, this is when we do it, do you want to do it? I feel like, should I Well, and it was even like that with Lindsay and Marco. I was like, hey guys, we're the band's still here if you guys want to be part of it. And no one ever just says, I can't do it anymore, I'm busy. It's like they string me along a little bit.
Fade out.
Yeah, and that gets rough, People just saying they want to do something and then just kind of going away. It's hard sometimes. But at the same time somebody will come in, like when Delp joined up and learned so quick. I mean, that put so much wind in my sails.
It's only because I was injured. I mean, I still would have picked it up eventually, but it ain't because I'm great. Yeah. It's just because I sat there at the police academy and did this for like 3 hours a day. Yeah, everybody's looking at me like, what's he doing?
But I'll get good news. Somebody new will text me and I'll be, this guy's going to be great. And it motivates me for a couple weeks and then it goes away again.
It sounds like a lot of fun being part of a band and learning an instrument until you start practicing and you're realizing how monotonous it is and you have to do the same thing over and over and over to perfect just one little movement on the chanter.
Right.
And then when you've done that for 3 hours and you're like, I got to do this again tomorrow, then it's not so fun. But it's an instrument that takes a lot of grit. That's the way I like to describe it.
Exactly what your email said too. It takes a lot of grit.
Am I quoting myself now?
But once you're there and you do a performance, man, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like, starting Amazing Grace and everybody holds their glass up and you finish it and you break into the Cajun version of Amazing Grace, which is more upbeat, and then afterwards everybody and they toast and somebody buys you a Guinness and it's such a great feeling.
We had an officer at the end of Guns N' Hoses last year. We were just standing in the hall. We were done for the night, and the officer said, "Could you play Going Home for me?" And we were walking out of the building, to be honest. And he said, "Could you play Going Home?" It reminded him of a relative who he had lost. We started playing. The young man started filming us. He started crying at some point. And we were like, wow, it's amazing how a tune can affect someone when they hear it on the bagpipes. And Amazing Grace is pretty much the one that really gets everybody choked up, but you just never know.
Yeah.
It's the power of music in general, man. And bagpipes just amplify it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Especially when you hear Korn.
So, had to get it in.
Had to shout out Korn. Korn has one song that really stands out on the bagpipes, and that was one of my other inspirations.
Shoots and ladders.
So, anyway.
Yeah, I'll add on to that. So when I got out of the hospital, obviously my sergeant felt the need to be there with his bagpipe. And I was trying to keep a straight face because I knew that there was going to be a line of cops. Like every time a cop gets out of the hospital, there's going to be a line of cops. There's going to be a lot of cheering, applauding, and as the officer that's been walking out of the hospital, I can tell you that all we're thinking is get to the car, and then you can take a big sigh and you're done. And that's exactly what I was thinking. And I heard the bagpipes light up, and it's cold. It's February, so obviously the air was just very thin, and those bagpipes just went right through, and I just hit me, and I just started crying on the way out. And the news is sitting there, and I'm crying, and I'm like, God, this sucks.
That was supposed to be happy too.
It was awesome. It was awesome. It was. They were happy tears. I was happy to be out of there, but I was happy for the support, and it was awesome. Yeah, I really appreciate that.
Oh man, I was so glad to do it. It was good to do it I'm really glad I got to do it for that occasion. Because I remember about a week before you got shot, I told you better not die when it's cold out because it was so bad.
You guys don't like wearing those kilts out in the cold?
Oh my goodness, no. That was before you guys started, but the coldest I have ever been in life was for Polson's funeral, the fireman.
That was right before.
And it was 9 degrees that day in a wind tunnel on Lindell between that big apartment building and the cathedral. And I mean, I was layered up here, had as much glove on as I can, but you got to cut fingers off for your gloves. And it was, I wasn't cold again for like 2 years. I was so cold that day. I was like, well, this isn't as bad as that one day.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I'd say actually the hottest, the hungriest, and the coldest I've ever been was being in some type of ceremony. Because you gotta stand there, you gotta be there for whoever they did worse than what you're doing, obviously. So I'm not gonna. I don't know a better word. I'm not gonna be that guy. I'm not gonna fall out. You know.
Does the fire department have anything like that, or is it?
The fire department has like a regional thing the same way we do. It seems like they're having a hard time getting people to practice as the way the county does. Yeah. And I've told them, when we practice. If you want to do it, then you know when to do it. But it's just, I don't know what stops them.
Yeah, it's do you think that it's a dying trade, or do you think that it's just?
I think it is dying, but I think one wave of it's never going to be dead. Yeah, it's one of those things. You can if think about how many police officers are in the area right now. What would you say, 5,000, 10,000? If 10 of them were to say, 0.1% were to say, I'm going to learn, I want to be part of the band. All of a sudden, we have 13 people in our band, and then county's got 12 people in their band.
It's a big band.
And that's probably one of the biggest bands. But it would be the biggest band in the Midwest besides Chicago. So it might be dying, but it'll never be dead because all you need is one. And it's, like I said, it's fun. Once you get there, it's fun. I just don't have the lightning strike. To take a quote out of Chris Murray, I can't strike you with lightning and give you the talent to play. You just gotta put your grit in it.
Yeah.
And the people that do play are very passionate about it. So I'm going to continue to try and get people to play. Yep. I'm going to try and get my kids into it. And I think that would probably help keep it going too.
Sure.
Just, if you try to do that for 20, 30 years, someone's going to pick it up from you,
Yeah, I definitely want I got my son on drums, hoping that he would eventually. Now, I don't know if I want him to be a cop at this point, but definitely play drums. That's another podcast, though.
So, for someone, obviously, the biggest takeaway from this podcast is that you guys need people. You need people to help. Absolutely, 100% step in some way.
Yeah.
If an officer was watching this and wanted to join up, what would they do?
Call me, email me. We can put your email on the links or whatever on the link below. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we can add something in. So
yeah, for sure.
I think Chris is the head of the regional band he's putting together, but from a city perspective, as still as an active for at least another year anyway, I'll probably I've sent out an email, I think twice in the past 5 years, saying if you're interested, and gives starting tips, but I'll be happy to send that out to the St. Louis City police officers. And I need to remind everybody or update my email that we need drummers too, because our drummers have fallen off. So if you're interested in learning the pipes or the drums, I'm pretty easy to find around the police department. And what we're teaching is working, because Jason here is evidence that we're passing it on. And not only that, we really do need to give a shout out to our friends in the county. Dave Sandback is a great pipe major in the county. He's there every week almost without fail. And is so inclusive. Him and his entire band are so inclusive to the city guys. So everyone should feel welcome.
I didn't feel like a stranger at all when I went there. Everybody was very, very welcoming. And
I told John for over a year, just come to a practice and you'll see. And he's like, no, I got to get this down. I was
the same way.
I was so fearful of embarrassing myself, which I continue to do to this day when I show up. But I've gotten over it a little bit. But anyway, they couldn't be more welcoming.
Well, guys, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us, man.
Thank you for what you guys do. And I know that a lot of officers like myself appreciate it. So thank you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'll see you at practice.
Our new drummer.